Hello, good morning. Happy Friday, Facebook land. I hope you're all doing well out there. All right. I think we are up and running. All right. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Kim Feeney with Butterfly Beginnings Counseling. I'm a licensed independent social worker and a registered play therapist supervisor. And I help children and families to lead healthier emotional lives to deal with big, baffling emotions. And today we are talking about sibling rivalry. So, from squabbles to solutions. Think back to your childhood. Do you remember that time that you and your sibling fought over the last cookie? Or maybe it was who got to sit in the front seat? Or she stole my doll or he stole my Legos? Yeah, we've all been there. Sibling rivalry is something that most of us can relate to. So if you're here live, go ahead, say hello in the chat. If you're watching the replay, let us know with hashtag replay and tell us, how many siblings do you have? I like to know little things about my audience out there and who's watching. And of course, as we're going through the topic, feel free to leave any questions, comments, and I will address them as we go through. So to start off, it's important to understand that sibling rivalry is common and it's a normal part of growing up with brothers and sisters. In fact, parts of it can even show healthy development. It helps siblings to learn to negotiate, to assert themselves, to develop their own identities, all within, of course, our close family systems. Of course, there's lots of reasons that siblings might clash. Attention from parents, because they have different personalities, different interests, different needs. They may be at different developmental stages. Younger children might be prone to more physical disputes, while older kids may be more verbal arguments or competition. Or, of course, there's always the younger kids trying to be with the older kids and do what, older brother or older sister does. And then we'll dive deeper into some of these later on. But for now, just realize that there are very understandable reasonings behind all the bickering and fighting going on in your home. So now that we've set the stage, we're going to explore some practical strategies for managing and hopefully even reducing the sibling rivalry that may be going on in your home. So strategy number one is the power of one-on-one attention. One of the most powerful things you can do as a parent to prevent sibling rivalry is to carve out special time with each child individually. Now, I know parents are juggling a lot of things. They're juggling dinner and activities and work and school activities and homework and everything and cleaning the house and everything in between. However, this doesn't have to be elaborate. You can build it into your schedule. It could be 15 minutes of reading a book together, playing a game, or just chatting about your day. Just one-on-one time with each child. The key here is to make sure your child feels seen, heard, and valued for who they are, independent of their brothers and sisters. I find the best way to do this is to incorporate it into bedtime routines, especially if you have different age kids and you can kind of stagger that throughout the day, throughout the night. It's very helpful. Another way is to make sure that each child feels their place in the family. Make sure they have defined roles and responsibilities. Give each child some age-appropriate chores or responsibilities. Reduces competition and encourages collaboration. It also helps each child to feel like they're contributing to the family, that they matter in the family. They're making a difference. They have their own unique role to play. It teaches them life skills and reduces the chances of the siblings' arguments over who does what. If everybody knows who feeds the dog and who loads the dishwasher and who takes out the trash. Having regular family meetings can also be a game changer when it comes to preventing sibling rivalry. Have them like weekly, like after dinner on a Sunday, where you do things like plan out meals for the week, talk about the calendar, and go over any issues that may have come up during the week. This provides a structured, neutral space for kids to express their feelings, air any grievances, and of course, work through conflicts together. It teaches the importance of communication and problem solving skills. Make sure you have ground rules to your family meeting, like only one person talks at a time and everybody's opinion is valued, things like that, to produce positive discussions. And then at the core of preventing sibling rivalry, of course, is teaching children to respect each other. It includes respecting belongings, personal space, and opinions, even when they disagree. And it starts with modeling respectful behavior yourself and providing clear boundaries for disrespectful actions. Now, I'm not saying punishments, I'm saying natural consequences. If a kid refuses to pick up their toys and you have to pick them up, maybe the toys go on a high shelf for 24 hours. Or I've even had some parents that they throw them in the trash or they give them away to needy kids. So these preventative measures can go a long way in creating a more harmonious home environment. However, let's be honest, conflicts will still arise. So what can we do when those inevitable squabbles happen? Well, strategy number one, and I know that it's easier said than done, is to make sure that you stay calm and neutral. So think of yourself as like a referee in a basketball game. When a foul happens, they don't take sides. They say, okay, this is what I saw. This was the infringement. And, this team gets 2 free throw shots or gets to take the ball out of bounds. Don't jump in and play judge and jury. Take a deep breath. Approach the situation as calm and neutral mediator. Avoid taking sides, placing blame. We want kids to be able to start resolving their own conflicts. So maybe allow each person 30 seconds to tell you their side of the story. And set a timer. A visual timer is great for younger kids. And then maybe give them each 30 seconds to come up with a solution, a possible solution, and work together collaboratively as a team. Of course, in this scenario, active listening is a crucial skill for parents, especially during sibling conflicts. Make sure you give each child your undivided attention and encourage them to express their feelings without interruption. Use phrases like, I hear you saying, or it sounds like you feel, to make sure they hear that you're truly listening and validating their opinion. Just because you validate doesn't mean you're taking their side. And then, again, once everyone has a chance to be heard, guide them towards finding their own solutions. Like open-ended questions are really good for this. What could you do differently next time? How can we make sure everybody feels happy about this? The goal is to empower kids to resolve conflicts, not to impose your own solutions. And keep in mind there's a difference between fairness and equality. Parents often strive to treat their children equally, but fair doesn't always mean equal because each child has unique needs and is at their own developmental stage. So what's fair for one child may not be fair for another. If you've got a 10-year-old and a 16-year-old, they may not be going to bed at the same time. They may have different responsibilities and chores when it comes to homework and helping out around the house. So explain this concept to your children. Help them to understand why they might receive different treatment at different times. Like dividing a pizza. That 16-year-old may eat 3 slices where that 10-year-old might eat 1. And maybe you're in the middle with 2. Who knows? And then, like I mentioned earlier, natural consequences can be powerful teachers. If a child breaks a toy during a fight, they may need to go without it. Or if they broke somebody else's toy, they may need to replace it. And teach conflict resolution skills like taking turns, compromise, and I statements to express feelings. Instead of you did this and I feel this, make sure it's I feel blah, blah, blah. Starting with taking ownership and accountability of the emotion. And role play these skills with your kiddos when they're not fighting. It's like muscle memory. We want to make sure that they can do these things when they're calm and regulated, so then when they do get escalated, the skills come out naturally. All right. So hopefully these intervention strategies help you navigate some of these challenging moments and turn conflicts into opportunities for growth. Now, what about some of those deeper issues that might be fueling the sibling rivalry? Because we know that those often exist. Sharing can be a tough skill for especially younger kids to learn. And it's often a major conflict or source of conflict between siblings. So start, of course, by teaching the concept of taking turns. Again, using timers, visual ones are great to help children understand that they'll get their turn with the toy or desired object. Make sure you create clear boundaries around personal belongings, because some things may be for sharing while some are separate and they're special to the person that owns them. And if there's really popular toys, think about providing duplicates when possible to reduce some of the conflicts. Now, another key frustration with siblings is comparison and competition. Again, remember, each kid is different, so avoid comparing siblings, even with seemingly positive comments. It creates feelings of inadequacy and resentment. Make sure you're focusing on each child's individual strengths, talents, assets. Celebrate their unique and individual achievements and progress. And use encouragement over praise. Encouragement, we want to focus on things like progress and effort and the process versus the outcome or the final product. So encourage cooperation instead of competition. Make sure you're creating opportunities for siblings to work together for a common goal. And of course, when kids feel they're not getting enough attention, they may act out or try to provoke their siblings. Make sure you're providing plenty of positive attentions. Catch them behaving well. When they're being kind, helpful, cooperative, that's when you want to use your encouragement. I noticed that you really helped your sister figure out a solution to that problem. You guys are working really hard on figuring this out together. Make sure you've got a predictable routine, again, with a dedicated one-on-one time for each child. And teach them appropriate ways of seeking attention, such as asking for a hug or, Mom, Dad, will you play with me? So understand these common triggers. Implement these strategies. You can significantly reduce sibling conflict. And again, remember, every family is unique. So try these things out. See what works for you and what tweaks you may need to make. All right. So that kind of wraps up my little spiel for today. If there are any questions, comments, I'm happy to see what we've got going on. I'm also going to add a link here in the comments that is to a free webinar called Tantrums to Talking, where I talk about ways to reduce tantrums in kids. It's 4 steps. It's a 60-minute webinar. Again, you get the link. You can watch it at your own pace. And I encourage you to check it out. And then until next time, wherever you are in your day, hug your child and make it a great one.